people. I'm Brandy Wright with Health Nuts Forever. I've been doing a 4-part series. I'm in the middle of doing a 4-part series for back to school healthy lunch options. Notice I said healthy lunch options. I'm not really focusing on giving you options for what to put in your lunch or what to do as a snack. I'm trying to help you understand what's healthy versus what's not. So I decided to do a series the month of August for back to school because all of us, I'm a mom, many of you are moms, maybe dads watching, and that's one of the biggest struggles for me. It's what to pack into my kids' lunch that's healthy. Also for snacks, because some of you may have children who have to take snacks. So that's always a struggle. Notice I said healthy. My part 1, I started out by basically giving you information on how to read labels, because if you don't know what's healthy, you don't know what's in your food, you don't really know what you're feeding your children. We have a lot of things that look really cute and they package them in little cute packages and have a little cute label and they'll put all the right words on the front. But when you turn it over and read the ingredients, it's horrible ingredients in them. A lot of processed and chemicals in those items. And so today I'll come to you with part 3. Part 2 I gave you lunch options, lunch choices. I want to first thank you all for following me, those who have been keeping up with this series, and also for those of you who have been giving me feedback. That helps. That is so important. The comments, the feedback, I need to know. Give me suggestions, what you want to hear more of, what you want to hear less of. But some of you had a concern that you can't do that. You said, Brittany, those are pretty, they look good, but that seems like a lot of work. Well, let me share this with you. A lot of that was based on leftover meals. And so if you're in the habit of cooking healthy dinner choices, making healthy dinners for your family, then you can let that be lunch for the next day. So a lot of that, like the taco bowl and things like that was basically from a meal that we had the previous night. So don't get stressed out about thinking that you have to create this elaborate meal the morning of school. Think about when you're doing dinner, what of this can I put in my child's lunch? And then another thing I loved about that, if you go back and watch part 2, look at part 2, read the post, is that a lot of that, it can be cold or hot. It tastes great room temperature. So that's what I love about it. You don't have to try to keep it cold. It can stay, maybe put an ice pack in there, but it can be room temperature. And if your child doesn't have access to a microwave, it still tastes fine. The quinoa tastes fine. The warmed up ground lamb or your meat of choice tastes fine. It's not anything that had to be prepared a certain way once your child gets to school. So don't stress about that. Really look into it and just be flexible and give yourself some grace. But the most important thing that I'm trying to get through to you all, even as I talk about the snacks today, is ingredients, and staying near and dear to whole foods, real food. Last thing I want to touch on is you may get, because I've gotten it from you all, is that my kids are not going to eat that, and I may spend all this money on this expensive food or organic foods, and they're not going to eat that. They will eat what they have available to them. If you offer them the chemical-filled foods, the processed foods, of course they're going to choose that out of the pantry over the healthy stuff. And the cleaner their palates get, the more you get them away from those foods, the more they're going to crave these foods. We as adults do the same thing. So give yourself some grace and some time and try to make the adjustment slowly, baby steps. So now on to the real reason for part 3, and that's snacks. We've gotten our kids off to school, most of us successfully. I have one more I need to get into school. His school hasn't started yet. But most of the kids are in school and some of you have packed lunches. And so hopefully you've had fun with that and much success with that. Please don't hesitate to email me or write in the comments if you have any questions in any way I can help you. I would love to do that. But we're going to start on snacks now because sometimes our kids are required to have a snack, a healthy snack for school. Or after school, before you can get dinner on the table, they come home what? Hungry, and they want a snack. Well, you don't want to fill them up with something that's unhealthy. You want to give them a healthy snack at all times, so that you're always focused on how are you nourishing the body. Are you giving them nutrients that they need? Because honestly, your child can eat all these bars, and if these are unhealthy bars, they may be hungry again later, really quickly, because their body is still crying for nutrients. And I'll talk about those bars in just a minute. So I'm just going to start here. An easy thing that staples we should all have in the house, or in our kids' lunchbox, or send to school. It takes no preparation other than washing for some things. Banana, you don't even have to wash. Fruit. This is the easiest snack ever. Nuts. Easiest snack. A lot of the snacks are pretty easy without having to buy the packaged processed foods, which oftentimes cost a lot of money. We think organic, healthy foods, but when you start price comparing, it's really no different. So fruits are our favorite go-to. Applesauce. That's an easy favorite get-to, especially for the little ones. Organic unsweet applesauce. Why organic? Apple is one of those that's on the dirty dozen. Apples is one that you always want to buy organic. Read my post number 1 for this series, part number 1, and it talks about the dirty dozen and the clean 15. There are some things that if you can't afford to buy organic, stick to that clean 15 list, and you don't have to buy those organic. But apples are one who receives a lot of pesticides and herbicides on it. So you want to always, whether it's applesauce, regular apples, try to buy organic if you can. And then unsweetened. Why? Because there's no added sugars in it. There's applesauce out there with fruits and berries and berry flavored, all these different flavors. At that point, you're putting artificial flavors into it to get it to taste like that. Though it's not real berries in there. So stay away from those things. If you want some berries in your child's applesauce, add some fresh berries. Keep fresh berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries. Stick to those dark berries that are really good. And add it into your child's applesauce or yogurt or anything like that, which I go here. The yogurt, a lot of us, we stick to, for those of you who drink cow's milk or dairy products that are from cow's milk, you have to be careful about that. That's a whole nother blog. But one I found that I love is almond yogurt from Almond's Milk. It's dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, vegan-free, all that, and it's so great. But any yogurt that I get unsweetened, whether it's coconut yogurt or almond yogurt. That's a yogurt of choice for our family. But as far as yogurts, you want to stay away from low-fat, fat-free, those kind of yogurts that have sweeteners in them, flavors in them. Plain yogurt, and then you sweeten with what you want, like stevia, whole leaf stevia, not stevia extract, but stevia to sweeten it if you want to sweeten it. And at that point, you can add you some berries, you can add you some nuts, you can make you a little parfait. That's a healthy snack option. You can put that in a kid's lunchbox. Let them make a little parfait by adding their granola in there, their nuts in there, the berries in there. I love Purely Elizabeth granola. It is so clean, it's so pure, it has really good things in it. It doesn't have bad oils, anything like that. And she has many brands. She has the original brand. I love this cranberry, ancient grain granola. That's another thing, grains. Stick with ancient or sprouted grains if you can. Here is 1 degree, and it's sprouted oats, granola, quinoa. Granola, love this if you want a little cocoa in there for some chocolate flavor. And then here's another phone I found. It's almost, we have very little in here. My kids love this. It's bare naked. It's a granola by peanut butter and honey. Once again, clean ingredients in that. So it's so, and guys, these brands have some really great health options. So you can see the comments below for any of this. Dates, used for sweetener. I talked about a natural sweetener. Dates, if you want to put it and blend it in with some of your yogurt to give it some sweetener. If you don't want to use whole leaf stevia, then you can use some dates and blend that in. Great for smoothies as well. I'll talk more about dates when I do a post on smoothies. Another one is guacamole. Guacamole is so great for dipping if they come home and want to have some chips and dip. These are some great brands of chips. I love these Way Better black bean chips. Once again, great clean ingredients, non-GMO stone ground whole corn, sunflower, sprouted seeds, and grain blend, pure sea salt, garlic, and onion. I love when I can just pronounce my ingredients. I can read my ingredients. I know what they are. They're not processed. Another one is vegetable chip beets. And you can just dip it in that salt, some homemade salsa or homemade guacamole. Another thing here are veggies. These snap peas, they have a little sweet flavor to them. They're so good. Carrots, celery. Get some good nut butter, almond butter. I love this Nut Zero. Has wonderful nuts in there, cashews, almond, Brazil nuts, flaxseed, chia seeds, hazelnut, pumpkin seeds. So I mean, if you can cut up some apples and dip it in the peanut butter. I mean, the list goes apple and peanut, banana and peanut nut butter. The list goes on and on. We have olives here. That's a good healthy fat. You can pop these in the lunchbox for snack. They can come home and pop a couple of olives for snack. And then good look, we actually have some cookie treats. I love that. I mean, we're not a big cookie family, but we love cookies. But it's just hard to find good healthy cookies. So I was so excited when I found these. Check this out: organic coconut oil, arrowroot, vanilla extract, cocoa, sea salt, baking powder, rosemary extract, cream of tartar. You know what's in here. It's all good healthy stuff, and I didn't have to stumble over the ingredients, wonder what in the world is that. I've never heard that word before. So I love this Simple Meals brand. They have great almond pancakes, waffles, all kind of things, and you can read your simple ingredients. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. When I say clean eating, I'm not talking about I eat some vegetables or I eat some fruit. I'm talking about you know what's in your food, and it's very minimum ingredients. Now I'm going to move over here, but before I do that, I'll just go talk on, once again, Simple Meal. We have 4 cheddar squares in the place of those Cheez-Its and those little cheese squares, all that stuff that has all that processed stuff. This is, once again, clean ingredients. You can read your ingredients. And I know you all can't see this, but you can go online and pull these ingredient labels up. Same here. These crackers, and they have many different crackers in this brand. One thing I will say, all brands are not created equal, and all things within a brand are not created equal. Fortunately for the Simple Meal, almost everything I've seen is great. Same with Purely Elizabeth. But there are some things within a brand that one thing may be good, but then another it may not. You may find canola oil and vegetable oil and different bad stuff in it. So always, always, always read your labels. So now I'm going to touch on some bars. I'm just overwhelmed, seriously, with how many bars there are on the market, and all of them are supposed to be great, especially protein, because protein is the big thing now that we need when we're really probably getting way more protein than we need. But bars, there are literally countless of bars. So you see lots of bars here, but I can't even afford to buy one of every bar that's out there. And the thing is, I want to warn you of, they all appear to be great on the outside. And I'm just going to start with one of my favorite, what used to be one of my favorite, is the Kind Bar. Very tasty. First thing they're pointing out is 8 grams of protein, which you think is great, 8 grams of protein. But then I look at the ingredients, and the ingredients list is long, and it has so much sugar in it. This bar has 9 grams of sugar, but it has glucose syrup, honey, sugar, natural flavors. It's just those things alone will make me put this bar down as much as I love it. Same with this Clif Bar. This is another popular brand. Just be careful. It starts out, when your first 3 ingredients has anything dealing with sugar, that's a red flag right there. It starts out organic brown rice syrup. then it has rolled oats, and then cane syrup again. And so, and the ingredients go on and on and on. And that makes me dizzy. When I get dizzy, when I'm reading ingredients in there alone, and I start to get dizzy, I immediately just put it down, because that means it's too many ingredients. I'm gonna flip over here real quick to a Laura bar and show you what I mean. This Laura bar has dates, hazelnuts, cocoa nibs, hemp seeds, almonds, cocoa powder. That's it. That's it. And another thing with these bars, now be careful, they're pretty tiny. And a lot of times you may get a lot of sugar in some of these bars for a very tiny bar. So Laura bars are great. I love those. I'm just going to point out, without going through all the ingredients, this nothing but bar, I found some great ingredients. Once again, it has very little ingredients in there. I was able to read it and roll on. Same with this Health Warrior bar, very few ingredients. Pumpkin seeds, organic wildflower honey, cocoa powder, milled quinoa, cocoa extract, vanilla, coconut, and sea salt. I'm finished. Now this one really was funny to me. Over here I have my bars that look healthy, that I thought that can really fool you, but they're not so healthy. Think Thin High Protein, 20 grams of protein. How many of you will run to this just because it says 20 grams of protein? I mean, that's like almost half of the amount of protein that you need per day. So yeah, let's get this bar. And then it says Think Thin. Well, I turn on here and the ingredients are not what I would want them to be. It has milk fat, soy, natural flavors, soy crisp, more natural flavors. I mean, it's just not the type of bar that I would look for as far as ingredients. And like I said, I want to keep referencing you back to my part 1, where I go over just a few of the things to look for when you're looking for bad ingredients versus good ingredients. So, saying all this to say, beware of the bars. Honestly, the healthiest bars are the bars that you can make at home. I made these great little, I'm gonna step over to my refrigerator. I made these great little bars that were a hit in my home. Well, they're not bars, but they're little balls. And they're basically, I don't know if y'all can see that, they're basically made with protein, dates and nuts. They're very healthy. It's like 3 simple ingredients. I can post that ingredients if you want me to. Just I'll put them in the comments actually. So this here, once again, this is another pretzels, because I know kids love pretzels. You can dip them in peanut butter. Found this brand, Sprouted Honey Wheat. And so it's so many things, guys. And this is just a few things. Nuts, you can always grab a handful of nuts. Just eat it by itself. Sorry, you can sprinkle your chia seeds in yogurt, in your applesauce, and just about anything. So this is a lot on the table, but there's so much more. I could not empty out my whole refrigerator or pantry. And so don't think that, what am I gonna eat when I start eating clean? There are a lot of options, and they're no more expensive than the regular options. These bars here were just as expensive as these bars. I mean, I have one bar here that was $1.55 for one bar. $1.25, $1.25. But then over here I have $1.49, $1.29, $1.09. So things are created equal. It may appear a little more expensive, but when you get rid of all the chemical-filled processed box items out of your pantry, you'll find that your grocery bill will budget out. So anyway, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining in. I know this was pretty lengthy, and that's why I did a video, because I had so much to say about all of this. I really wanted you to see the items, be able to put your eyes on them. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment below. Please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube page if you're watching this on YouTube, and continue to follow Health Nuts Forever. We have so much more, and this is our passion. We love you, and enjoy the school year.